You looked and looked and looked and looked and looked and looked for a place to call home, and then you just stopped looking because it became like a horror movie where you're trying to run towards something and it feels like it's just getting further and further away from you. Expanding home prices and mortgage rates last year kind of pushed many buyers right out of the market. I've heard this a lot, especially from first-time home buyers. You may be in that group even if you think you're not. I'm going to get into that in just a moment. First, though, I told you last week how mortgage rates and home prices in many places have deflated some from last year's highs, maybe enough to allow you back into the market once again now. But perhaps more significantly, the changes with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Those are big government-sponsored enterprises in the secondary mortgage market. Here's how that works. You get a loan from the bank. The bank wants to keep giving loans to a lot of other home buyers out there too, but they only have so much money to lend. So in the secondary market, the bank can go sell a lot of its mortgage loans to Fannie and Freddie, and now the bank has more money to make more mortgage loans. Well, since Fannie and Freddie are so important to the process, they get to make a lot of the rules. One recent rule slashed loan fees for first-time home buyers. Important note here, that includes someone who has never bought a home, obviously, but it can also simply be someone who hasn't owned a home in the past 3 years. Now, you may benefit from these reduced home loan fees if you fit that description and make at or below 100% of the area median income, which is this much in these parts of Texas. I have a link for how you can find yours. One mortgage lender explains that this could allow some borrowers to knock as much as 1.75% off their mortgage rate, which could save that borrower up to 16% on their monthly payment. Put that a different way now. If you had bought a home before, when you still had to pay all the fees, you might have been able to afford this price with that much as your monthly payment. Now, without having to pay some of those fees, you could conceivably be able to afford this higher price with your payment staying the same, this much. Talk to your lender about this. I have more info on all of this in my article today, posted at Jason Wheeler TV on Facebook and Twitter. Oh, and still to come, what a Texas broker is now telling buyers who were pushed out of the market last year. Some time-sensitive advice next time we get right on the money.